Srila Prabhupada sometimes said that we have to spend gallons of blood to make one devotee. This saying was taken from his own spiritual master, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. What does that mean? It means it takes a lot of work to bring someone to devotional service, to keep them in devotional service, to nourish them in devotional service, just like the mother gives her blood in the form of milk to a child. It's not easy to change someone's whole outlook. People's outlook may change. They may change from being a Hindu to a Muslim, or a conservative to a liberal, but that doesn't really change their basic outlook, which is one of desire for sense gratification. Their so-called change of outlook means they're just, they have a different idea about how to attain the goal of sense gratification. But to attain the goal of service to Krishna, loving service to Krishna, it takes so much to bring people to that consciousness. And certainly Srila Prabhupada worked very hard. One thing he said is that I was never lazy. Since his childhood, he was never lazy. In his childhood, he was organizing the Rath Yatra festival. He worked very hard. One time, Srila Prabhupada in a conversation said that the purpose of Shastra, or Shastra teaches us to be lazy. And he said that materialistic people, they work very hard for sense gratification, but Shastra teaches us to be lazy. Laziness is good. But then Srila Prabhupada qualified that by saying that one shouldn't work hard for sense gratification, but one should endeavor for spiritual realization. So materially lazy and spiritually nitya yukta upasate satatam kirtiyanto mang yatantas chadridavrataha namaschantas chamang bhakta nitya yukta upasate. Great pure devotees, Mahatmas, they constantly engage in devotional service, chanting the names of Krishna with a firm vow. They're always engaged. So we shouldn't think that, well, Srila Prabhupada was a pure devotee and he just, wherever he went, people just fell at his feet. There's no such thing. He really showed the example of endeavoring in devotional service, especially for the sake of bringing others to devotional service, which he, following in the footsteps of his own spiritual master, recommended or very much promoted that we have to do this. We have to do whatever we can to help people come out of the darkness of ignorance. Tamasima jyotir gamaya. Come out of the darkness. Come to the light. Utishta jagrata prapya varang nibodhata. Now in this human form of life, we should get up, wake up, and realize what a great opportunity we have. And Srila Prabhupada is just completely fixed in this. Morning till night, throughout the night, for Srila Prabhupada there was no really beginning of the day or end of the day. It was just constantly engaged in Krishna's service, literally day and night. So if Srila Prabhupada says that it takes gallons of blood to bring people to Krishna consciousness, and considering that purity is the force, Srila Prabhupada always said that if we, purity in this sense defined not necessarily as being free from all contaminations within the heart, but following the process of purification, rising early, engaging in kirtan, chanting one's rounds, reading the books, following the regulated principles. If one does like this, and with faith, conviction in Krishna, and then his preaching will have effect. So Srila Prabhupada is the very emblem of purity that we saw. He's completely absorbed in Krishna. In Krishna, how do we know? He was completely absorbed in Krishna's service. So people get inspiration. They can get inspiration not just by what we say, but what we do. If we're actually serious about Krishna consciousness, then we can help others to be serious. If we're not serious, then simply getting people to join some vegetarian social club that sings some Indian songs and call it bhakti, well, that's not going to make any great difference to people's heart. Gallons of blood, how much we have to convince them, as the tendency to reject Krishna. Even people who are nice and pious, if we poke them a little, we'll see in many cases that they're nice, but they don't want to surrender to Krishna, and their niceness may run out very quickly if we push them that you have to surrender to Krishna. So this idea of being nice is all very good, but if people don't surrender to Krishna, what's the point? Better to, if required, as Srila Prabhupada often did, he was very strong with people, practically everyone. I've listened to so many of Srila Prabhupada's conversations again and again, and he's very strong with people. He's insistent, pointing out that all the defects in their philosophical outlook, or why won't they surrender to Krishna, and often coming to the conclusion, Srila Prabhupada, simply rascals. And he published it in his books also. I just read there was one of our devotees was distributing books in Germany. This was some time ago. And he met one businessman, well-to-do, in his mid-50s, and offered him one of the books. And the businessman started abusing him. What is this? All cheaters, rascals, hypocrites. And the devotee said, what do you mean? This is the Bhagavad Gita, ancient philosophy from India. He said, yeah, India, all those swamis and yogis, they're all just cheating people. And then the businessman said, so what's the name of your swami? What's the name of your guru? And the devotee who was distributing the book said, His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. The man changed and said, oh, then I take back all I said. He's the real one. I say, and the devotee was surprised and said, oh, do you know him, or what makes you say that? He said, I read his book, Life Comes from Life, and he calls all the leaders, politicians, scientists, so-called philosophers, hogs, dogs, rascals, hypocrites. He's the real thing. Give me some books. So Srila Prabhupada, he wasn't just maligning people for the sake of it, but he was really trying to bring them to understand how they're wasting their life in forgetting Krishna. Krishna is the fact. With so much, send people to school and college for education, and even after getting a job, they get more seminars, re-education, trying to get people to understand so many things about this material world, and at the end they just die anyway. And where do they go? They don't even know. So many facts we learn. Someone is called knowledgeable if they know millions of useless facts about this useless material existence. But the one thing they really need to know, what happens with amassing all this information, they become oblivious and uninterested in the one fact they really need to know, is that I'm an eternal servant of Krishna. So Srila Prabhupada, he really tried hard, very hard. He worked hard to impart this knowledge. So if Srila Prabhupada did, then what to speak of us if we're going to preach? We shouldn't think, oh, I'm a great preacher, people like my talks, whatever. If we think like that, then we're just in another illusion, that's all. Real preacher is someone who is fixed in contact with Krishna and really does his best to bring people to Krishna and speaks the message of Bhagavad Gita as Krishna spoke it. Mostly Srila Prabhupada spoke Bhagavad Gita topics. You are not this body. There is the supreme controller. We have to surrender to him. Because people are dull. They don't even to understand we're not this body. Even so-called Hindus or Buddhists who are supposed to accept that we are temporary. This existence is temporary, but what we identify as ourself is temporary. But we are born again and again, but they don't understand it. They don't take it seriously. Look, you can't see. Tiny little living being. I can hardly see, even so small. Hare Krishna. So, how much we have to try. However much we try, we simply have to pray to Srila Prabhupada to kindly empower us so that we can try to serve his mission. Passing out his books is really, as he himself said, the best way for us to spread Krishna consciousness among the masses, to everyone. If they read Srila Prabhupada's books, then as Srila Prabhupada said to actually one of his best preachers, Bhagavan Das was famous as an excellent speaker on Krishna consciousness, and Srila Prabhupada wrote to him that, what good will your 3-minute talk do? But if they read a book that can change their life. Srila Prabhupada worked hard to produce these books. He pushed his disciples to work hard to produce these books and to distribute these books. By this endeavor, yes, hard work, gallons of blood, we can get the mercy of Srila Prabhupada and be empowered to bring Krishna consciousness to others, to actually enter that our words may enter their heart and make a difference there. So let us not be lazy. If Srila Prabhupada had to spend gallons of blood to preach, then what to speak of us? How much we have to try, how much we have to work so that others may be benefited. Srila Prabhupada is a completely pure devotee. Still, people didn't want to hear what he said. And we're just trying to be devotees. Our words may have some effect by his mercy. But we have to follow his example of really doing whatever we can, dedicating this life for the service of Krishna. Srila Prabhupada said we had so many lives we passed without Krishna consciousness. Now just give this one life to Krishna. You will not be the loser, Srila Prabhupada said. Hare Krishna.